Welcome to English Today with Sir V, Series 1. Series 1 is a collection of exemplar lessons based from the most essential learning competencies in Grade 8 English, Quarter 3 in particular. In Part 2, it was emphasized that there is no substitute for ordering or sequencing various ideas of a paragraph in a logical way. However, even when this is done in a satisfactory manner, there is often a need to strengthen the organizational pattern of a paragraph by inserting transitional words and phrases. In this lesson, you will learn some useful and common transitional words and phrases and how they work in a paragraph. To begin, think back of our juicy cheeseburger. Connected to the topic sentence is the transition. Often, the transition is combined with the topic sentence, just as the ketchup, mustard, mayo, barbecue sauce, and other delectable condiments are spread on the bun. The transition adds a unique flavor to the paragraph and makes it easier to move from one paragraph to the next. You might also include transition words and phrases in other parts of the paragraph, just like you might put cheese or barbecue sauce in other parts of the burger. Just another way to add some flavor. Let's discuss transition words and phrases further. Transition words and phrases are built-in signals that show the connection between words in a sentence, between sentences in a paragraph, or between paragraphs in an essay or a speech. Transition words and phrases also give direction to the writer. Likewise, transition words and phrases are used to guide the reader through his thoughts. Transition words and phrases further strengthen the order of the ideas in a paragraph. Lastly, transition words and phrases make meaning specific. Now that you have a general idea about what transition words and phrases are and why they are important in reading and writing, let us briefly discuss some useful and common transition words and phrases classified according to the purpose they serve in a paragraph. If you want to give examples of sentence 1 in sentence 2, use one of the following transition words in sentence 2. For example, for instance, specifically, in particular, namely, another, or one case. If you want to show a similarity or comparison to sentence 1 in sentence 2, use one of the following transition words in sentence 2. Similarly, not only but also. In comparison, like, again, in the same way, or likewise. If you want to show a difference or contrast to sentence 1 in sentence 2, use one of the following transition words in sentence 2. However, on the other hand, nevertheless, in contrast, but, while, or despite. If you want to show how sentence 1 relates in time to sentence 2, use one of the following transition words in sentence 2. First, initially, next, then, after, once, or finally. If you want to add the information from sentence 1 to sentence 2, use one of the following transition words in sentence 2. In addition, besides, furthermore, moreover, also, another, or at the same time. If you want to show how the information in sentence 1 produces results or conclusion in sentence 2, use one of the following transition words in sentence 2. Therefore, thus, as a result, hence, accordingly, for this reason, or consequently. If you want to put emphasis to the idea in sentence 1 in sentence 2, use one of the following transition words in sentence 2. Clearly, without a doubt, most importantly, in fact, certainly, indeed, or significantly. Lastly, if you want to give a summary of the ideas within the paragraph, use one of these transitions. On the whole, in summary, in brief, to sum up, all in all, as has been said, or to put it differently. Remember, many transition words in the time categories such as consequently, first, second, third, further, hence, henceforth, since, then, when, and whenever have other uses. Except for the numbers like first, second, third, and further, add a meaning of time in expressing conditions, qualifications, or reasons. The numbers are also used to add information or list examples. Further is also used to indicate added space as well as added time. As a final note, here's 3 cautions about transitions. Number 1. Do not overuse transition words. Only use a transition word or phrase when the relationship between the sentences needs clarification. Number 2. Be sure to choose one that corresponds correctly to the relationship between the 2 sentences it bridges. And number 3, do not put the transition word in the same position in the sentence. Let's read and analyze a sample paragraph. That sample paragraph illustrates the dangers of transitions for two reasons. One reason is that the transition words and phrases are placed in the same position. They are all added to the beginning of the sentence. Note, putting the transition word in the same position in all your sentences is quite monotonous for readers. Thus, vary the position of transition words. Sometimes put it in the middle of a sentence. Other times put it at the end of a sentence. Another reason is that the transition words in the paragraph are too many. Remember also, relying too heavily on transition words to connect sentences creates a repetitive, boring paragraph for readers. One way to avoid using too many transition words and phrases is by using clear pronoun reference, repeating keywords or their synonyms, and using parallel grammatical structure. Those three other techniques which contribute to a paragraph's coherence will be discussed in the succeeding parts of the lesson. Now, let's answer the practice exercise. Practice exercise 1. Complete the following paragraph by choosing the appropriate transition word. Now, compare your answers. Transitions help us in many ways in writing. For example, they help us in presenting our ideas in a meaningful way. Secondly, they help us to introduce and develop the main idea of the paragraph. Thirdly, they help us to illustrate and add supporting details. Next, they help us in moving from one idea to another by binding one sentence with another. Finally, they help us to understand the ideas presented in the paragraph. However, using too many transition words ruins the structure and coherence of the paragraph. Now, test yourself. You did a lot of work today. Good job.